Hello, I'm Gabor from Bunnyhug Games, and I would like to show you our very first game, Naughty or Nice. In this video, I will teach you the rules for our game. Come, join me at the table, and let's learn how to play. Setup begins by separating the cards into 3 decks: Kiddos, Creatures, and Presents. First, take the top 3 cards of the present deck and place them face up next to the present deck in order to form the present of a row. Next, take the top 5 cards of the Kiddo and Creature cards, then separately add 1 Midnight card to both of these 5 cards and shuffle them. After these 2 sets have been shuffled, place them in a 90-degree angle to the sides of the table and then place the remaining cards on top of their respective decks. Continue by dealing 1 gift giver card to each player around the table, along with 4 present cards and 1 creature card. Players' gift givers are always revealed, and their powers should be shared with the rest of the table before beginning the game. However, the rest of the cards are to be kept in each player's hand and should never be revealed. Lastly, take the top 8 cards of the Kiddo deck and place them face up in the middle of the table to create the playground. And thus the setup is done. When it is your turn, you must take 1 action. You may make presents, summon creatures, or fulfill wishes. In between and before or after these actions, you may take any number of free actions. Free actions may be granted by your gift giver, or more commonly by playing one of the creatures from your hand. First, let's take a look at the 3 basic actions in the game. To make presents, the player takes 2 present cards, either from the present deck or from the present of a row. The player may instead take 1 card from the top of the deck and 1 from the present of a row. Summoning creatures. To summon a creature, you must draw the top 2 cards of the creature deck and then choose one of these creatures to be kept and the other to be discarded next to the creature deck. Keep in mind that if you summon a creature during your turn, you must not play that creature in the same turn as it was summoned. To play a creature, you can play that creature anytime during your turn, or if the creature spells the keyword reaction, you must play it reacting to another player's action, interrupting their turn. Fulfilling wishes. To fulfill a wish, you must select 1 kiddo from the playground and look at his or her wish list. When you are fulfilling wishes, you must spend an equal amount of presents matching the colored symbols on the kiddo's present list. Each present spent this way will score you 1 point. Additionally, you may score extra points based on your gift giver card. When you are giving gifts to children, you will give gifts based on 4 categories: clothes, sweets, toys, and naughty gifts. Each category features 3 different presents in the present deck. Their numbers are equal, and normally there are 4 of them in the present deck. As an example, when Odin tries to fulfill the wishes of Benjamin, he must gift Benjamin 3 red presents. If any of these red presents is a sweater, then Odin will score 1 extra point. However, Odin will score after each sweater that is given to Benjamin. So if he has 3 sweaters in his hand and gifts these 3 to Benjamin, he will score 6 points instead of the normal 3. After a player fulfills wishes or scores any points, the player must move his or her pawn on the scoring tableau. Creature cards are divided into 3 categories: helpful, neutral, and harmful. Helpful creatures may help you when they are played. They may give you free actions, extra presents, and they may also help other players in the game.
Harmful creatures may be played in order to hinder the ability of your fellow players by stealing their presents, or by stealing their creatures, and even by deducting their points. Neutral creatures were worth points, however, they have no other gaming effect. Apart from their powerful abilities, creature cards sometimes worth points. To find these points, locate the stars in the bottom right corner of the creature cards. Endgame is triggered when one of the midnight cards are drawn either from the creature deck or from the kiddo deck. However, instead of keeping these cards are revealed to all the players, signifying that their time has come. Every player will take one last turn, and then the player with the most points wins the game. Advanced rules. When playing Naughty or Nice, you might want to decrease or increase the difficulty and complexity of this game. In order to decrease the difficulty, you might want to neglect some of the aspects of the game. You may play without the abilities of the gift givers. For this, just flip the gift giver cards and use their non-aligned side. You can also remove the creatures entirely from the game, thus limiting the game only to making and giving gifts. In this very basic version of our game, you can teach the fundamentals to any player at the table without them needing to read or to understand more complex mechanics. Later on, you can introduce these mechanics one by one, and this can allow even the youngest of players to join the table. If you would like a more competitive version of the game, then you could introduce Set Collection. In the top right corner of each kiddo card, you could see one of these symbols. Each of them corresponds to one of the big 5 personality traits that we have as humans. Openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. When you're playing with the Set Collection module, here are a couple of things you need to consider. First, when you fulfill the wishes of a kiddo from the playground, you add them to your pool. However, if you're playing with this module, then you have to check if you've added the kiddo to an existing set. If the kiddo has at least one other kiddo from the same set, you get an automatic reward. This reward is always the same. You get to summon a creature for free. You draw the top 2 cards of the creature deck, keep one of them, and then you discard the other. Also, when you acquire a full set of kiddos, one from each of the 5 main types, then you draw the top 2 cards of the creature deck and keep both of the cards in hand. Also, when using this module, the endgame is a bit different. After you finish the last round of actions, you have to score some additional points. If you have the most amount of kiddos from the same set, then you score 3 additional points. In addition, if you have a full set of kiddos, you score 5 extra points. The full set bonus is cumulative, meaning if you have 3 full sets at the end of the game, then you score 15 extra points.
That about wraps it up. If you've liked this video, then please consider supporting our Kickstarter campaign.